I think it's safe to say that the Purdue Boilermakers did not wake up feeling the cheesiest. Great time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Big Ten football content every single day. Always mash that like button to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses. Man, look, I kind of figured that this was going to be a beatdown. I kind of figured, even though LSU didn't have Kayshon Boutte in this game, this was still a very good LSU team, and this was a Purdue team that had a whole bunch of opt-outs. Like, whatever side of the fence you're on, as it pertains to opt-outs in college football bowl games, I think we can all agree it had a disastrous effect on Purdue, because you take Purdue, a team that can move the football up and down the field, a top 5 passing offense in the Big Ten. You look at Aiden O'Connell, an experienced quarterback. You look at Charlie Jones and Payne Durham and how big they were to that offense. You basically took your offense away. I've heard many people say the Purdue offense opted out. So now you have a whole different offense, and you kind of have a whole different team. A team, that didn't go 8-4, a team that didn't win the Big Ten West, because the last time we saw Austin Burton at quarterback for the Purdue Boilermakers was when he was able to barely survive against the Florida Atlantic Owls at home earlier on this season. So this was not the same Purdue team. This was a Purdue team that if you put this team on the field, maybe they would have been competitive a couple of notches below in the Big Ten Bowl pecking order. But you face them against an LSU team that's very good, no matter whether it's Daniels or Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback. They picked them apart. And secondary, that's, I think, where I want to continue with this reaction, is no Corey Trice in this game. It seems like over time, this Purdue secondary just kept on regressing this season. Of course, you had Chris Jefferson earlier in the season, then he left the team in the middle of the season. And, just a lot of different things happened in this defense, and especially the back end of this defense. You talk about Lawrence Johnson up front, a big part of the interior defensive line, entering the transfer portal. I know definitely because I'm within this Big Ten box, but you may look all across of college football and you may not have run into a team that was more affected by opt-outs, and then you're expected to go out there and play against LSU. I thought this was a team that was maybe going to really focus in on the run game. That was like Austin Burton. Boy, I look at Austin Burton. I think he'd be really successful at an option offense. Throw him at a service academy, throw him in an option offense, and I think this guy could be good. But when you expect this guy to throw the football, it didn't turn out that well. I'm a little bit surprised we didn't see Michael Alaimo a little bit sooner than we did. You throw him into that situation, and of course, he obviously didn't play very well. This is a 4-star freshman, right? It was him and Brady Allen in this quarterback room, possibly looking at those guys to be the future of the program for Purdue football. But I think it's very apparent that I don't think Michael Alaimo is the future, because they just got the future about a week ago, and that's Hudson Card transferring into this program. There's going to be a big reshuffling in terms of the personnel next season, and I think we proved, I think just Michael Alaimo maybe isn't there yet in his development as a quarterback. It would have been nice to see him come in and really provide a spark for the Boilermakers, but that obviously didn't happen. Speaking of sparks, I thought Devin Mockabee at times provided some, and that kind of goes back to my main point. Even going back to my main point in the preview, I really thought with the running ability, this option ability of Austin Burton with Devin Mockabee, I thought they'd run the football more. But you're expecting to adjust your offense on the fly, where you're not really programmed, your playbook is not really programmed to be able to do that, to make that big of an adjustment in terms of calling plays. I felt for Brian Brom coming into this one. I know he wanted to finish things off well, but this was a massacre, and I did not think it'd be this much of a massacre. I thought Purdue might hang for a little bit, quarter and a half, 2 quarters, and then LSU and their talent would eventually pull away. But man, this was bad. This was bad, and so it's kind of ironic because Purdue's going to get a pretty big-time makeover in this offseason with Ryan Walters and obviously all those coaches that he's bringing over from Illinois into this Purdue coaching staff. But, man, you look at this game, and yeah, they do need a makeover. So I think it all fits the narrative, kind of with Boilermaker football right now. It's unfortunate because I thought at their best, Purdue was a really good team. I thought most of the time they were just a good team, but at their best, like they took Penn State to the absolute wire to open up the season, right? They had some good wins this year, but at their worst, they're below average. So I want to hear what you guys think about this one. How do you see Purdue using this as motivation? I guess I'm not sure really what else to say. How do they really use this to try to propel, to try to do something? They're not going to use this, obviously, to propel into the next season, but how do they use this as motivation going forward with a lot of turnover in this program with Ryan Walters coming in? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Big Ten Ted if you haven't already. I'm Big Ten Ted. We will see you in the next one.